One.
It's I I was started to go for something and I immediately regretted it. So it's Lima time. It's episode 127. I'm your boy Hagrid. This is Pat.
Chevelle. They call me Chevelle, dog, because I could drive a Chevelle. No, I don't know why I said that or what that's from. It's not from anything.
I like it. Yeah. So when did we did this? What, a week and a half ago?
I think it might have been exactly a week ago. Is today Thursday? I don't know. We don't know what day it is. It's Wednesday, right?
I think it's Wednesday.
I think we did it last Thursday, so that's about the same.
I didn't know what to talk about and like what we would talk about, but that sort of reinvigorated me. Like I enjoyed that last episode a lot.
Yeah, a lot of good feedback too. There were a lot of people that tweeted in that's what they needed, which I can't understand that hearing two buffoons ramble on about God knows what would be anything that would bring joy, but I definitely appreciate it. So yeah, a lot of people were just like, yeah, it's about time. I was like, yeah, you know what, we probably should do this more. It is the show we've done for multiple years now.
It's crazy. It's like I think we talked about this last time. It's like 4 years. We've been doing this for like 4 years. So this is the beginning of the fourth season, I think. Yep. No, it's the beginning of the fifth.
It should be the beginning of the fifth.
16, right? 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, so this is the beginning of the fifth season.
That's stupid.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
How we have been doing this longer than they made Party Down is a complete mystery and also a travesty.
Yes, it is. It is both of those things.
So how you been?
I mean, fine. Ready for all this to end.
Yeah.
Even though it's not going to. It's going to pretend like it's going to.
It's going to be a while for sure.
Well, I don't know. Well, we're both in Texas, so that's we're gonna be forced to deal with an early opening up, and that's gonna be. I was telling some other friends, I was just like, you know what, I'm not scared of the virus and all that stuff, and if I need to run to CVS or run the store, I do. But I'm not going to pub trivia, as soon as this thing opens back up. I'm just not. I'm not in the mood to spread the virus to other people. It's not time yet for people to be getting together. It just isn't.
No, and there's a very clear lesson from history that's basically 100 years old that says
Spanish flu.
Don't jump the gun, but that's what we're gonna do. So, because the South, I guess.
Yeah, so, capitalism rules, man.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, there's also something to be said for, I mean, and this is because now that school's excluded, I mean, if you're an adult, be sensible about things, and that means not being selfish and you having the choice to be in public or to not be in public. I mean, the people that do want to go out and they are ready to go to their sensual Gary's raves at the dock immediately, like they're gonna be punished, So
yeah,
make sensible choices, people.
Yeah. So
not sensual choices. Makes sensible choices.
The sensual choices are the only choices to make.
Yes, that is true. That's very true.
The thing that I keep coming back to is like I understand you can't, but I also think you can just shut the economy down and treat people with respect and dignity, and give them unemployment and ride this out, because tens of thousands of lives absolutely depend on it. But also understand that it's really hard to tell people. Now, luckily, I'm an introvert, so I've been preparing my entire life to stay in my house and not see people in person.
Right.
But I mean, it's really hard for people that thrive on human contact, and there's only so many times you can do like Zoom happy hours or whatever.
I haven't done one of those. I have not done one Zoom happy hour. That nothing would make me less happy than to be on a fucking stream with my bozo ass friends. Like, I mean, no, thank you. This has been a nice welcomed vacation from anybody that I hang out
We do a couple a week. There's one on Friday night, and there's one, and they're not long. Like it's not like we started. It starts at 6 and it ends at midnight or whatever. Like it's just kind of checking in. It's more of a checking in. Like, how are y'all doing?
Well, that's good. Well, that's good for you guys, but because I mean, you've got a small child at home, and you can't necessarily get out. I feel like that's something that maybe that's something that you that might be able to continue on after this is over to stay connected with people.
Happily just sit at home.
Yeah, just like here, everybody gets their liquor or their booze of choice, and you sit there and you can talk. And I mean, because I mean, it is pretty a pretty easy interface to deal with, and it's pretty natural conversationally. I've done a couple of shows and stuff with multiple people on there, and it seems to be. I mean, it's like you're hanging out with the people, you know.
Yeah. No one. And my thing was like, are we gonna like shout over each other for an hour and a half or 2 hours? And it hasn't been like that. So maybe being so online has sort of prepared us all for something like this, where it takes a little getting used to, but not so much. I don't know.
Being so online. That's true.
Do you find yourself on social media more or less?
Way less. Yeah.
So, like, what do you do instead? Do you, like, watch movies? You read a book? You listen to music?
I've been reading a bunch, watching some shows. I'll go on, YouTube rabbit holes, watching old concerts and stuff. But I've been watching, I watched Extraction. Did you end up watching that yet?
Yeah, we watched it a couple nights ago.
Pretty fucking badass.
It was really good. I was pleasantly surprised.
I was too. It had a little bit of like some John Wick in it, and just in terms of like the moving camera and just the fast action. Not much dialogue, just kind of like just nonstop action. I was pleasantly surprised as well. I had no idea what it was about. I was like, everybody is ranked like, number 1 or number 2 in the trending. I'm just going to watch it and go in. And then I was immediately pretty much hooked on it.
I think it was our dude Link Calhoun that I saw him tweet at somebody else and said, it's a really good, just like sit back with some popcorn and you don't have to think a whole lot. You just watch it and enjoy it. And that was the same thing. We watched Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh no.
At some point in the last few weeks, and I was like, this absolutely preposterous, but it is a delight. And it was like 30 minutes too long.
Is that the latest of the whatever how many? There's probably 7 of them, 8 of them by now.
I don't know. I think it's the latest one, but it was, and there were parts where I was like, should I have watched Mission Impossible 14 before watching this? Because like they were allude to like obviously some sort of plot line that had been developed in some other universe.
See, they can't be doing that.
But it wasn't like oh crap, I need to know what they're talking about. Like it was I just sort of agreed like I'm just gonna miss this very small part of the story and get back to 90-year-old Tom Cruise absolutely wailing on everybody.
Right. I mean, it's just the same thing with all the Fast and the Furious. They're absolutely ridiculous. You see like helicopters or fighting tanks, and like it's just like the Rock's jumping from a tank to a helicopter in midair, and just like this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but it's incredible. I've
never seen a single one of the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, you need to be watching those. They're great. They're terrible, but they're great. They're the exact kind of thing where you just like they know they're self-aware. They know what they are. They don't pretend to be anything else. And they're fantastic.
Yeah.
I've seen all of them, and I will watch every one that comes out for as long as they put them out.
All right. I mean, that's the don't have to think. You just sit back and enjoy it. That's definitely my genre right now.
But they're entertaining movies. Like they're good in what they are doing. Like I don't. That's weird. I guess if a movie you enjoy it, it's good. It's good. But like I don't want to I also call Shawshank Redemption a good movie. Well, that's a great movie. But I mean, like it's not. It's fine. They're good. I watch them all. These days, if I enjoy watching a movie and I continue to watch it, then it counts, I guess.
Kami asked me the other day. She was like, "What movie do you just absolutely love, but you don't really talk about? And she's like, I'm not asking like a guilty pleasure movie, but just like, what's your underrated movie? And my immediate response, and I don't even know where I came up with this, but my immediate response was Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, that's a see. And the Fast and the Furious movies are pretty much that. It's the same movie, same kind of
That's
shit.
That's what I wondered.
So
about
like
that.
so like you get the same kind of enjoyment. Gone in 60 Seconds is good because you get all those cool cars, and you got the Shelby Cobra, and you've got it's ridiculous, and you get Nicolas Cage, which is always a blessing.
It's Nicolas Cage, it's Angelina Jolie, it's like Giovanni Ribisi,
yeah,
and
who's a fantastic actor, Giovanni Ribisi.
Yeah, Timothy Oliphant, like it's just like the Delroy Lindo, whose name I never would have gotten if you'd asked me.
I love that you know that name.
Like I think he's in it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in it.
I don't know. I have a bunch of those. There's, an underrated one that I watch a bunch. I mean, I always talk about A Knight's Tale, but that's genuinely one of my favorite movies. I love that.
That's a good movie.
It is a great movie. Everything about it, and it's one of those movies that's self-aware. Like it has like 70s rock music, behind this medieval premise, and Heath Ledger is just a treat. Just an absolute treat. So no, that's just that's a movie that I will watch every time it's on, and I have a bunch that are like that. I just off the cuff, I can't think of it. The one we mentioned last time, Kingdom of Heaven. That's a more serious movie. But I watch that every time it's on. I don't know what about it I love, but I watch that a bunch.
That's a good movie. That's a good one. Yeah. Orlando Bloom.
You know what you should pick up? Little Big League. Watch it. If you don't come out of this quarantine haven't seen Little Big League, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah. Okay. I'll watch it.
You're gonna absolutely love it. It's like the baseball in itself is one of the better ones. It's not as much of a goofy kid movie as you think it is. It's actually one of the more realistic clubhouses, realistic baseball. You got Ken Griffey Jr. and the Mariners. I mean, it's fantastic. It is one of my favorite baseball movies. It's in my top 3 of all of them. So absolutely.
Do I live tweet it, or do I just sit back and watch it?
I would say sit back and watch it, but if you wanted to live tweet it, you could.
Doing stuff like that always seems like it's a really good idea for the first maybe 20 minutes, and then.
Well, no, and then you're like, I just like, especially like, and it's a pretty good movie, so you're like, I just kind of want to watch this. Yeah, I would just watch it, and then we can, the next time we do a show after you watch it, we can talk about it because you're gonna love it, and you're gonna be like, all right, okay, you were correct.
If we are gonna go with this sort of midweek recording thing for the foreseeable future, then by the time we do this again, I will watch it.
Okay, and if you'll tell me, maybe we can organize it and do kind of a Lima time watch everybody. Everybody cool. Watch it that night. Just kind of do it, and we don't have to tweet it, but just everybody watch it and have like a community type thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, so let's delve into this alleged MLB proposal, and the reason I say alleged is because I don't know if I've ever seen Bob Nightingale write something correct.
That's true.
I mean, did he say that it was? He got it from being on the phone with who's the head of the players union?
Tony Clark.
Tony Clark. So he said. He got it from Tony Clark. So I do believe that it's possible, but I am going to say alleged just because it is Bob Nightingale, and I have not seen him, at least with his tweets. I've never seen him have a correct take ever. For being a USA Today writer, he's just like, buddy, like.
Yeah, like come work at Astros County and see how we do it, and then you'll get some tips.
So the proposal, the alleged proposal is 3 10-team divisions, staying in your I'll say in air quotes, so I don't even have to do air quotes if you're watching the video stream. Your region to minimize travel. So basically aside from one team flip, It's pretty much it's the AL West, NL West. It's the the AL Central, NL Central one team differently. The Braves and Pittsburgh Pirates flipped for whatever reason. That might have been an error. But Pittsburgh is way up in the in that travel wise that might make more sense for what they're trying to do.
It makes that actually does. I hadn't thought about that because I didn't give the whole proposal a ton of thought. But that actually does make more sense that you put Pittsburgh in the East because you've got Philly and New York and Boston, right there. Where if Atlanta is gonna have some decent plane rides, then you might as well make it an extra hour, 45-minute, whatever extra flight time, to go to St. Louis or whatever. So what do you like about it? What do you not like about it?
I like the novelty of it. I like that it's like for what they're well. I like number one that they're making an effort for baseball to be played in 2020. So I like that, and I like that it's nothing like actual regular baseball, because that's what this season is. That's what this year is. So like, why not like throw caution to the wind and say, fuck it, we're doing something. We're gonna play. We're gonna try to crown a champion, but it's a quarantine. It's a COVID-19 champion. It's nothing like anything else we've ever done. So why not? Why not try some things out and just kind of have fun with it? And then go ahead.
No, that's a good point. And I want to go ahead and continue your point. Then I want to get back to your alleged.
And then also the other thing I like about it is that it would mean that the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Astros are in the same division, which is fucking fun. And also the San Francisco Giants, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's just fun.
Weird, yeah. I like that aspect too, that it's just weird, and I think you're dead on. That everyone knows this is a really weird year, so let's just do some weird things. And no one wants a 40-game regular season.
No, they're proposing 100 games. They're proposing to get to 100 games with an expanded postseason. And I don't know what that means. That was not clearly defined. So I mean, we would have to predict what that meant as an expanded postseason.
So, because as of right now, 5 teams make the postseason from each league.
Uh-huh.
So that's 10 teams. So an expanded is that 16? Is that and then you just go like bracket style?
I mean, unless it's yes, I don't know, because there's no leagues. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That was something that I made note of when I was reading, that it said with a proposed expanded postseason. So you're playing 100 games. I mean, if you got 3 divisions with 10 teams in each division, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do like a table, like a soccer type thing.
Because what would be cool would be, if they play the games, however many games there are, and then in a best of 5, 1 plays 16, 2 play. It's a region of March Madness, and you just and the crazy thing is that, I mean, I was for some reason in one of the hot links that I was doing recently, I looked at the 2013 team to see like how bad was that really, and it was really bad. But there was one random stretch where the 2013 Astros won like 5 games in a row, and I was like, that's 10. That was like 10% of their wins, like in a calendar week. And so the crazy thing is, like, you could have like a 1 seed versus a 16 seed, and you just get punched in the mouth for 3 or 4 days, and you're just done.
It won't happen.
I don't know. Like, it's just, but I don't know.
It could happen, but when you're talking like the Astros versus the fucking, it doesn't matter. I mean, and it's Verlander and it's Greinke. Like that's when the cream rises to the rises to the top for the most part. But I'm not saying it can't happen, because it absolutely can.
No, You can lose 4 games at home to the Nationals in the space of 8 days.
You didn't have to say that. You didn't have to. You did not have to say that.
I
know. I'm still angry about it too. But like, you don't have to. You don't have to do that.
You're right.
We're trying to make it's positive vibes only during the quarantine.
To the alleged thing, and we can get into the details later, but I still think they're just releasing, like, here's what we might do, and it might start on this date, and just to get people talking, because nobody, and Manfred especially, doesn't want to come out and be like, I'll see you in April of 2021. Like, that's, and I think that's what I think that's what we're faced with.
I mean, but also at the same time, I mean, baseball, I mean, there's so much money on the table. Baseball doesn't want, I mean, of course they want to play this if they can. And if we're opening up everything right now, to see kind of how that goes, July 1st isn't a crazy date. Isn't a crazy date to expect to be started. That's actually that would be right on line with and that's still saying that's for the teams to get to play in their own stadiums, but and maybe fans get added later on the summer. Fans haven't been really mentioned, but not doing the Florida and Arizona thing where teams get to be. We still get to, because I mean that's throwing out, and you have teams designed to play in their own home stadium. So playing in the spring training facilities, that doesn't do anything for me. Now this does, if you're playing in your own park, you know, and you're still playing your teams from your division, and there's some comfortability there.
And you know, you get to see teams, like, we don't get to play the Giants, you know, but once every 3 years. You know, we don't get to watch the Astros and Rockies go at it, you know. So I mean, for the grind of, like, are you kidding? We just played the A's like 3 times earlier this week. Like, there's some novelty. There's novelty to it, and I think of all the things that I've seen, this is the one I'm most in favor of at this point.
But okay, so there's this proposal, but who's to say why couldn't they? I know you want to cut down travel, but if teams have their own chartered jets, why can't you just do this and just play a 100-game season the same way you always have been with the same divisions?
That's something that I have thought about, and I can't come up with a decent reason. So I don't it's not like the Astros are, you know, that Bregman and Altuve are talking at Hobby, and they're like, what boarding group are you in, A or B? And they're on like some sort of like Southwest jet that stops.
Right. Yeah. They're not running some Airbus from fucking Austin to Lubbock.
They're on the megabus with the free Wi-Fi and the, you know. So the whole travel thing I've never understood that argument.
I mean, maybe it's a respect thing. For you don't want, you know, people, you're not supposed to be moving around, not supposed to be traveling around, just kind of like, hey, we're staying. I don't know. So I mean, so when I read that, that's one of the things like that I thought of, that I was like, you know what, like I like how cool this is. I love the novelty of it, but I don't know if it's true. Because why wouldn't you, if you can start and you're planning to go into into November, close to December, or however long the postseason takes. I mean, starting July 1st at the absolute latest would be the latest for them to start. Why wouldn't you just do it like normal? Unless they want to make a concerted effort to make this a novelty season, to where it's not like just it's like an asterisk. You know, I mean, it's like it's completely an anomaly. This is what happened. It was weird, and they wanted to make it weird to go along with that. I don't know. I honestly don't.
I think what if they do play baseball this season, I think, you know, and baseball fans tend to be a little bit more in tune with the history of the game. But the idea that it would, anyone looking back on the 2020 season be like, oh, that was the COVID-19 season. That's when things got really weird. Right. Yeah, I think everyone would understand, like, they just did what they could to give us something to watch, and not that they're gladiators, but if it's, I'm sort of with you, like if it's safe and if it, I was trying to think of like who would be impacted if with a private jet, going to Denver or San Francisco or Los Angeles. Well, obviously the pilots, and I don't know, do they have flight attendants on like the team plane?
100% they do.
I mean, I figured they would, but I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, you're putting people at that's their job. But
but they're going to be doing that. They're going to be doing that anyway, because but by that time, like their flights are going to be taking place. It's not going to be it's not going to be shut down by then. So, I mean, as far as I know, I mean, I don't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking July.
Yeah, who knows?
If we're not open up to a certain extent by then we are in a hellstorm, and it is not good.
I've always thought like July 4th would be a really good opening. That'd be a really cool opening day. But really? I mean, the first of the month, like that'd be cool. But like every team playing baseball after
on July 4th, everybody gets to watch baseball, and fucking we can. Bill Pullman comes on and say, "This is our Independence Day." We get the Bill Pullman Independence Day speech, and that'd be pretty bad. That'd be pretty patriotic, even though it's a worldwide thing and not American at all.
No.
All right. So, well, okay. So I mean, So I don't. Just because it's Bob Nightingale, and because of there's some stuff that there's some holes we can poke into that proposal instantly without knowing all the details. I don't know how much stock to put into it, but I like that there's stuff like this out there. I like that there's a little bit of hope for baseball, because I initially was in the camp of if it's not going to be a full season and it's going to be something like that, to throw it out just because of the historical aspect of it. And now I'm like, you know what? If I could watch my team in an empty stadium play baseball 6 out of 7 nights a week, I would be in hog heaven. So that's where I'm at. I'm back like, you know what? And they when we talked about this last week with the contracts, the George Springers and the just I mean the million different contract situations, for them to get to play would be ideal for both parties. I mean, or possibly ideal for both parties. You don't know what happens, but I mean, there's just little things like that just for morale for the fans. Everything. I don't know. I'm big time in favor of it.
And if you're gonna get weird with 3 10-team divisions, then if there's not fans, like if you're like in the stadium, like mic up the players. Like that was really fun. Those spring training games, they had players mic'd up. Like just get if baseball wants to experiment with if they are able to play baseball this year, and any experiment you wanted, like one game, it's written in there that every team gets 6 no umpire, like robot ump games, then that's just how it's going to be. Like mic up the players.
Getting crazy.
Do everything that you try the pitch clock, like do everything that you want to, and you're like, oh, Tuesday night it's the Astros and freaking Rockies, but there's not going to be there's not going to be a home plate umpire. That's crazy. You have to start off with like 3 balls. Like that's weird. Like, I mean, just do everything. Just try everything you have ever thought about, because everyone's going to know, like, this was the year they just tried to get by, and they just tried stuff out in order to put out a product.
I'm completely with that. And that being said, I don't think baseball will ever do that. That's kind of why I don't believe that this 10-team division thing will ever happen, because baseball, even with it presented on a silver platter like it is right now, for them to experiment, to move the game forward, to make it more palatable for a younger demographic, they will not do it. They will not do it. They will not deviate. They will not deviate from the norm. No matter how it's laid out, and it's right there set up for them to do it. So I don't necessarily think this will happen. But
it's too cool of an idea. That's why it
Yeah,
cannot be true.
it's a cool idea.
perfect.
Bob Nightingale wrote it, so like that strikes 2 and 3 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, if it had come from like Drellick and
Literally
Rosenthal,
anybody
like,
else.
that would be
Literally anybody else. When I
I'm
saw
not a
him, I was like,
John.
"Fuck!" And I was like, "Oh, he wrote this." I was like, "Shit." Ah, I mean, but seriously though, like that's a real thought that I had. I was like, "Oh man," I was like, and then even though you could read some of the Twitter replies that were just like, "Yeah, this is not. There's no way we believe this. You wrote it." So it's like it's not like we're the only people that think that he's never had a correct take, because he's never had a good take.
No, I cannot think of a single one. And even guys that have bad takes routinely, like John Heyman, right. If Stephen A. Smith was like, "Here's what I heard," and
Stephen A. Smith has had way more better takes and good takes than this guy.
I would believe, like, there are the Yankees have some really good beat writers. Like, if they had come out with, I would give it more credence. Any baseball this year would be, for me, 100% unexpected, but also an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like, I mean, just thinking about what it would be like to have basketball or baseball right now with something to watch every night. I would be watching. I would become a super fan. I'd be watching fucking the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets. And then baseball, I'd go back from being a regional fan to being a fan of the game, and I would just to have something on. If the Astros they're playing baseball and the Astros weren't on, I'd watch the Mets and the Marlins. I don't care. Like, it would be like, I would welcome sports. I didn't realize how important sports were until they were gone.
I've watched so many like Leeds United games, like old games on YouTube. Like, I freaking stayed. I got really excited about. There's a series on Netflix called the Least Expected Day. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
And it's about a cycling team, Team Movistar, and it goes through, and it's subtitled, so like it would be something that I wouldn't be able to watch, because Kami loves foreign movies, but she's not going to watch a documentary series about cycling that's in Spanish.
I actually prefer subtitles and foreign stuff, because I find myself having to focus on reading what they're saying and taking everything in. So I feel like I get a little bit more out of it, because with English stuff, you can glance away, you can hear what they're saying. With this, you have to be intent to watch it. I like foreign movies in that sense. But yeah, docuseries would be difficult, but
it's fine. So anyway, that series, I think it's only 7 or 8 episodes, unless I fell asleep with it on one night and it skipped ahead. Like, I woke up, the next day I went to check and it said I was done. I was like, oh, okay.
I recently started Waco with
we started.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And shout out to Tim Riggins from
Tim.
It's Riggins from Friday Night Lights. He'll never not be Riggins, but plays a very charismatic David Koresh. I mean, I've got a 2 or 3 more in the miniseries, but it's been, I mean, just a lot of good actors in it. Really well done.
I like Michael Shannon a lot, but we watched 2 episodes last night. We're gonna watch a couple more tonight. So it's
all right.
good.
Well, let's hit a couple of these Twitter response questions, and then we'll get on out of here. I mean, we could go back and forth about what we're watching on YouTube
we need to save
it, and people probably welcome that, because people are looking for stuff to watch. You know what's
we need to, we'll save it.
Here, Middle Ditch and Schwartz. Thomas Middleditch, who and Benjamin Schwartz are both hilarious, but they do this. They've got 3 episodes, and they do it's improv. It's full their whole specials are improvised on the spot, and it's fantastic. I'm against improv.
You're not the first person. You're not the first person to say that I needed to watch that, so that'll get.
But like, I appreciate that kind of stuff, and like they're just so good, and it's all made up on the spot, and there's only 3 episodes, but they like it's long form improv. So they build like a whole story based on they'll talk to these people for they'll ask them a couple questions and get some characters and stuff, and they'll build a whole hour-long episode for it's fantastic. It's definitely worth the watch.
Cool. Yeah, we'll check it out for sure.
All right, so let's go. Let's do a couple of these. Let's start out with this one. This is an easy one for me, and I assume it is for you as well. From Joseph Austin at Joseph D. Austin asked, would you rather go the rest of your life without baseball being played or without chips and queso? Without chips and queso, easily. For me,
I love chips and queso. I'm assuming that that it's the chips and queso. Like I could have chips and salsa.
Yeah, no, he said he didn't
baseball.
specify. It's just and queso. So yeah.
So yeah, no, I'll go baseball all day.
I mean, there's a lot of food that I love. I don't know. I love baseball so much that I don't think there's anything that he could have said where I wouldn't have picked baseball over it.
Yeah. If he was like, and without baseball or steak, I'm like, I don't eat steak that often. So as it is,
but if he went like baseball or pasta, I'm just like, fuck. I still pick, and I love pasta, and but if I still like, I would rather I'll eat something else. I'll eat something else delicious that I know is delicious than to not have baseball. So I mean, that's just where I'm at with that.
Yep.
But that's hey, you know what? You gotta give us more of a conundrum on those. Craig Harmon, we love Craig, one of the nicest people on earth. He asked us, when do we think baseball is actually going to start again? I still don't think they play this season. I say end of March of 2021 is my prediction, and I hope I'm wrong.
I agree with you, but if I have to pick a date, when will they play this season? I'm gonna pick opening day is July 4th.
Yes, it's Independence Day. Let freedom ring, let the white dove sing. It's a day of reckoning. It's like, whoa, chill. All right, day of reckoning, is it? Okay. Let's see here. What else we got here? This is a good one from Dan White, 3422. Is Brandon Backey patient zero for this epidemic? Yes. Yeah, he is.
Probably. Yes, probably.
Yeah, he's got all of the old COVIDs as well. He's got them all piled up.
Who is the most likely current Astro to have it?
Ooh, that's tough.
I'm gonna go Reddick, just because like
he's a hillbilly. Because he's a hillbilly.
He would eat something weird that had it and get it, but and they'd all be okay. His twins are apparently healthy, and his wife is young and nice and strong, I guess.
Young and nice and strong. That's a good one.
I'm gonna go Reddick.
All right, I'm gonna go Yordan Alvarez, just because he's oblivious to it. Like he wandered. He randomly touched a handle of a door. Like he was, or he went back home to Cuba, a little bit more population dense, and just like he was just wandering around, accidentally contracted it. He was asymptomatic. Yordan's too strong. It didn't hold him down. He's way too strong, but like he was carrying the virus and did spread it to others. So
he was carrying the virus and then immediately launched it 485 feet.
Yeah. He also could. Yeah, he threw it up to himself and hit the virus out. Shout to Yordan.
God, I love him. He's so great.
Yeah, I was watching somebody on Twitter. Oh, I don't know his handle. Josh Astros, who does all the cool
the Apollo media. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know his handle, but he was playing the MLB The Show 2020 and like Yordan hit a home run to win the World Series against the Dodgers. It was a walk-off in 13. And it just watching that, I was like, you know what? Yes, this is badass.
That's the thing that I've got I have a Kindle. I've got a ton of books. Like I don't go to the library because I cannot be trusted to return the book on time.
No, nobody can.
But
If
the,
you
the
go ahead.
the one thing that I've really like that I thought like it would be really cool to have is like a PlayStation or an Xbox or something.
You said
like,
you can't have one because you'll turn into a psychopath.
but I also think that I think my wife would be on board with it if I ended up. I don't think I could be allowed to spend money on one, but if someone just like dropped one on the door, like I think that would be okay.
Somebody drop drop one off on his doorstep. Absolutely. I haven't played any video games, but I thought about getting the Red Dead Redemption or whatever the fuck that is. I was like, you know what? This is where I'll just wander around and I'll look for some horses and shit. Like this is the time to play a game like that. I'm not a big gamer. I'm not a big gamer, but like I was like, you know what? I might just go wander around the frontier and find me a horse and. But no, I didn't.
So,
I haven't played one video game this entire quarantine. Not one, not 1 second of it. Because I'm a fucking adult. Because I'm an adult.
I was given a choice with I could either do Astros County or play video games, and I chose Astros County. But that said, if someone just dropped like a PlayStation, it can be like a PS2 where I could play like the college football and have maybe some MLB The Show and some FIFA. That'd be that.
If you had a PS2 with the college football, I would challenge you to mini games because I was a dominant college PS2 college football player.
Yeah, so if you're in my area, and if you are in my area, then you know, and you wanna message me later, we could work something out. That'd be.
I mean, I don't have high hopes for you, but if that were the case and it came through, I'd be so excited for you. Like that'd be so bad. I'd be like, that's why we do this podcast. Like that's why. Let's see here.
Do a pledge drive this year. Go ahead.
I was just looking at some of the questions. I mean, we've got Alyssa asking what is a baseball. Like we can't acknowledge these. What is a baseball? Yeah, it's a round thing. It's made of leather and what else is it made out of?
Cork.
Yeah, extra juice. If you're talking about last season,
helium. Yes,
helium. Is that what made the juice? Is that? What do they do? I just heard that they made them slicker in the postseason before to where they weren't like when Verlander was complaining, and then they made it juiced. Like I don't know, or is that the same baseball?
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? No one knows.
We do know that something was different about them, and there was definitely a conspiracy with the baseballs for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Let's see here. Stros fan I know is asking who are we rooting for in Korea?
Preston Tucker's team. I think that's the Kia Tigers. That's who I've chosen.
Okay. This says the Kiwoom Heroes. They're good, and they've also had a number of scandals. Sound like the Astros.
Well, hey, I'm open to recruitment from Korean baseball teams.
So like that's what the Korean so Korean baseball. So this guy has a. I'm not gonna assume that they're a guy. This person has a Korean baseball account and says if anyone has any Korea baseball questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to give an answer or point you in the right direction. To which Stros fan I know asked, what is the most hated team? I'm an Astros fan, so I want to root for their equivalent. And then that person gave the response. I'd go with the Kiwoom Heroes. They're good and have had a number of scandals.
I can't argue with that.
Love it.
So
love it.
Well done, fan. That's a great question.
Let's see that for once, fan contributes without having to be a dick. Like he's not mocking us for doing. He actually contributed to the show. So shout out to fan. What a dude. I like fan a lot. I'm a big fan of fan.
We've met. He and I have met in person a couple of times.
Yeah, he's the best. He is the best.
He's a really good dude.
Yeah, which makes his online persona that much better.
Yeah,
because he is a great dude, and then like he's just pretty awful online, and I honestly respect it.
I respect it so much. I don't have the balls to do what he does.
I think he's just being himself, which we also have the balls to be ourselves. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's a couple more and we'll get out of here. IML Savage says, when is Tucker coming up?
The day after Josh Reddick goes off to free agency.
I do think they trade Reddick if we actually get a season going, but who knows?
I think they would. Obviously, they're not going to choose Reddick over Tucker.
No.
But I do think this is the sort of team that would say, like, and the Ed Wade teams would say, no, Reddick plays because we're paying him $13 million,
right,
and Tucker's only going to get $500,000. But this is now the way they run the team, and I'm assuming that James Click is going to have a blueprint that's at least representative of Luno's.
It better be. It honestly better be.
Yeah, whoever's producing is going to play. So I think both, which is a really good philosophy for a guy in his last season of his contract. He's in a contract year like Reddick, and a guy like Tucker who's trying to establish himself. Like it gives them both the right motivation. Like it doesn't denigrate. It's not designed to shame anybody. Like if Reddick's not producing and Tucker is, then Tucker's going to play. Like that's the
correct philosophy.
That's the
best player on the roster gets the spot. You know, Reddick gets a lot of slander, and is offensively rightfully so. But I was watching a highlight reel, a defensive highlight reel from the postseason last year. Actually, it was just postseason the last few years against the Yankees, and all the catches and the plays Reddick made defensively. Like we forget, like he robbed a couple of home runs. He had an outfield assist throwing a guy out at third. I think was he the one that he hit Correa and threw out Brett Gardner on that triple. I don't know.
Yeah,
he was all over the highlights. Just like, yeah, we forget how many plays fucking Josh Reddick really made some big plays in the outfield for us during the postseason.
I'm also willing to admit that because he's such a balls out defender, like Reddick's been banged up. Like he's coming back from. I mean, he needed shoulder surgery this past offseason. So I'm not going to say that Reddick's going to hit 310. But if there is baseball played this season if he hits 282, I think he's a 280 hitter.
I don't think he is at all. Do you really think he's a 280 hitter?
I think he's a 280 hitter.
I think he's a 260 guy, but he might get you some. He might drive in some runs, and he's going to save you some runs defensively. I just don't have any confidence in him offensively.
I think that
no shot to him.
His shoulder is presumably fixed. If they do play this season, I think you're going to see it, and especially that it's a contract year. That you'll see an uptick, and he's still going to play defense. But I also think that some of his defensive plays lend themselves to injuries.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm completely with that. I welcome it. I'd love to see that happen. Let's see here at Nav Kumar. Hi.
Love that guy.
He's the best. He's been around pretty much as long as the podcast has. Just a fucking good dude. Hi. Yeah. Play Rob Manfred on TV. Propose your own terrible quarantine baseball idea. You can do this exercise for each of you. Okay.
Wait, what? So what is it?
He wants to. We're Rob Manfred, and we want to propose our own terrible quarantine baseball idea. I don't know. That's tough. That's tough on the spot.
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my terrible quarantine idea is you do not. Every team doesn't play every day, but every other team plays a 7-inning doubleheader every other day.
What?
So basically, you're getting 4 games in 3 days, but you have a day of rest in between.
Okay.
And you expand the rosters so you can have the pitchers to do that. But honestly, like if you're just going 7 innings, then you're still going to burn through the number of. I mean, that would still be 4 starting pitchers every 3 days, which is not ideal. But you expand the rosters to where you can sort of accommodate for that. So you get a ton of games in a shorter period of time, and you have an expanded roster to where it doesn't mean that Verlander's throwing every 3 or 4 days.
All right. Hey, you know what? Is that terrible? I don't know. Who's to say? Mine would be it's just Houston versus Chicago, and they got to go play an Astros home game in Milwaukee. I don't know where I've heard this before, but they've got to play against the Chicago Cubs in Milwaukee, and it's got to be important. It's got to be important games, and that's pretty much what. I don't know if he took a page from some other commissioner's playbook. I'm not sure.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? But yeah, so it's Astros versus Cubs in Milwaukee for an Astros home game. So we'll see what happens with that. Which makes complete sense, and we all understand why that makes sense.
Yes.
All right. I think that's just about it. I don't see anything else on here that I. If you sent in a question and I skipped it, I didn't intend to. I think I got to all of them. I mean, are you riding with Biden? Is another one. Well, I'm not touching that.
Not answering that.
Yeah, I'm not answering that at all. But shout out to Tamu Aggie Dude. Hey, do you like the Aggies or not, John? Tamu Aggie Dude. So that's your handle. And then we got what are you wearing from at Kook King. They can watch this back on YouTube so he can figure out what we're wearing. I've got my
No, you're good.
No, we're good. All right. I mean that's all I got. Have you got anything else?
You're good. No. Let's do it again.
All right. I'll see. Watch Little Big League. That's it. Goodbye.